What's up, y'all? This is D checking in with an update and follow-up to the setup of the Aqua Springs, or rather the Aqua 11 Springs tank. This is the second day of setup and it is really clear, really clear. Really like this tank. The design and everything is really nice. I will point out one thing though, because it has the planter on the top in which the Aqua Springs is named after. Its little swirling springs for the plant to go up. But since I have this tank in a basement, the light that comes with it only lights down into the tank. So it would not have lit the top where the plant is, and as you can see it's pretty dark here with the exception of my frag tank light. And since I was previously lighting two tanks with that light, I just put the other tank back up so that I could light my other tanks and my little herb garden there, if you want to call it that, with the tank. But it is really quiet, really quiet. I mean, the only thing you actually hear down here is the stupid bubbling that I mentioned in the other video. This one freaking box filter just makes that annoying blop 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 noise. Even this one with all the bubbles coming up from the sponge filter is really quiet, and the tank is really clear. I'm happy the babies have transitioned over. I kept the water parameters the same as the frag tank, as you can see. And just to point out a little something in regards to light, this tank is rather tall, and the light that comes in it does light all the way to the bottom really nicely, but it is a white light. And if you look at the two, or rather the three tanks together, you'll notice the difference in the water. The water color, the water is clear, but the color, because of the light, see the blue hue here, because this tank has not only blue and white, but it has red and green, and the red and green makes a big difference, as you can see from the tank itself. This one has red and blue, and you can see the difference only because the tank is not green. It has the yellowish tint to it. Now that really does a good job of lighting the tank, but like I said, since I was lighting the area around the tank, I went with my marine land light, which does the job. The other thing that I will point out is the swirl have me thinking about whether or not you have to make sure that this is level when you put it up, because it just sits on the back. You have to make sure it's level. Not really a big deal, but you see it moves a little bit, and that just makes this really pretty to look at. But if it's not level, you'll see the water leans to one side or another, but it still flows. I've never seen it flow over or anything like that. It was just a concern of mine, because you can see the water is made to keep this little basket moist, and it actually does do that. So in the previous video, I was like, hey, I wonder how that thing stays moist. The roots will grow down, depending on the plant you have, into the water. And it's really nice design. I don't know if they still produce this model, but it's a really nice design. And just so that you know, if you didn't want to use that filter, you could still go with an aqua clear, or whatever filter you wanted to put on it. But it's a really pretty design, and I do plan on putting something in that planter, so stay tuned and see what that is. I'll get to that in another video. But the most important thing is my babies. They are really happy in here. They were in the 5-gallon, which is down there, which isn't so much smaller, but it is shorter. And since I put them in here, they are just loving life. I mean, their colors are like brighter in the last day. And I never really realized it, but the offspring aren't even black. These were like the platinum white mollies and my black molly spawn. And these are like, I don't know what color to call them. They may darken up as they get older, so I'm going to keep an eye on that and see how that goes. The other thing is, the other tank did not have sand in it. It had the plain substrate. I found a lot of bristleworms in the substrate, and I put them in here just because the bristleworms do a great job of going through that sand. I don't have any coral in here. I may put seahorse or two in here at a later date when I see how this cycle handles, and I'll be checking it for cycle, because anytime you put new rock in a tank, you got to look out for that cycling effect and make sure that it doesn't go through any ammonia spikes or anything like that. But like I said, these fish have been in several different tanks, including the pond outside in which they were born, so it ought to be cool. So for the most part, let me give you a shot of the corner. Looks great. Looks better than it did before. Doesn't look like I have 50 tanks. It looks like I only have those 2, even though I have the little one hiding in the corner. And I'm really happy with this cube. Once again, the Aqua 11 Springs, not a bad tank. Good for a cube. You know, cubes are rage now. Really quiet filters. The pads are cheap. These are the cartridges here, so that you see. You get them, they come in a pack of 3. And not bad. They were like, I think they were like $8 for a pack of 3. Can't go wrong. I'll even add that you can probably open this for the trained hobbyist. If you know what you're doing, you can open that and put the GFO if you want to run it for a saltwater tank, or you could even take that pad out and put the one of the Chemi Pure Blue bags in there instead of using the pad. So it's pretty flexible. And I'll leave you guys with that. So this is D signing off with a follow-up update. Aqua Springs running good. Fish are happy. Stay tuned. Keep tabs on how this tank progresses. And with that being said, I'm out. See ya. Love, peace, and head grease, brother.